This video is sponsored by Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, let me tell you about it. It's free. They're creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone, computer, or iPad. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, iTunes, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Hello everybody, welcome to the 16th official episode of the Pidgecast. As always, I am your host, CJ Pidjanowski, and today I kind of have a longer episode, but a more in-depth episode about really everything. It's going to be a longer episode. It's going to take a long time to come out. It's mid school season, so it's going to be hard to see how everything plans out. How do I still get good grades in school and also translate over to the podcast and continue to mess around with the podcast and try and grow it? Today, we're going to be doing the off-season recap as the NBA season is almost coming to an end. The NBA offseason is almost coming to the end. The NBA season is upon us right now. December 22nd is when it starts. This offseason has been very, very big for the history of the NBA. Russell Westbrook has hit his third team in 3 years. The Thunder completely blew up their franchise. Just everything in the NBA is changing, and it's going to be changing at a consistent rate for the next few years. There's no way that teams that say that they're going to keep their star like Paul George are telling the truth, because it's not up to the organization anymore. It's up to the players. It's up to how they want to do it. The franchise isn't shaped around their their GMs and owners anymore. It's shaped around what do the players think is right for them. Are they going to leave their team in a short stint at each team, like Paul George has done for the past few years, or something like that? The first little topic that I want to talk about is Russell Westbrook getting traded for John Wall, which I guess is kind of in a little title of the trading category for this episode. Also, quick thing before I start talking about trades, I am trying something different with my podcast. I'm going to be releasing an episode every other day for 3 months and seeing how does my channel grow? How do I do in those 3 months? What are my statistics and how did I grow? What did I do in the episode that made me grow? Just everything like that. And just going to see how can I get better at this and use this more as kind of not a hobby, but a part-time job, because I'm actually kind of getting paid for this for views. So it's nothing serious. I just want to change this into something that I can do for fun and possibly just for a living. With that being said, Russell Westbrook getting traded for John Wall plus a first-round pick in 2021. Russell Westbrook talked about he talked about on ESPN him not wanting to have his legacy about winning championships. It's about how he is, like, how fierce he is, how he's been playing, and what his stats are, which I could see for a player like Westbrook, who grew up with every teammate that he had leaving him, because he grew up in a small market team. The Oklahoma City Thunder are a very small marketed team. I just don't see how the Thunder were to attract a huge player. It's really interesting to see how the Thunder, was able to keep Westbrook for that long instead of Westbrook leaving, because Kevin Durant got it early. He knew that he would leave in his first, it was 6 years, I think, with the Thunder. James Harden left fast. But anyways, Yeah, that's enough with the Russell Westbrook part. The John Wall part. John Wall's interesting because John Wall has been injured for the past 2 seasons with a torn Achilles. And according to a lot of sources, ESPN, NBA.com, and 538.com, Achilles tears. With most players that I've been studying in this past week, most players who have an Achilles injury tend to come back with 10 to 15 points less than they did. All stars, that was. So if you were an all star last season and you averaged 30 points per game, like a Harden, and you got an Achilles tear, you'd average 15 points. Or if you would average 20 points, you'd now average 10. I think that happened to Mike Conley, but I'm not sure. I think that's what kind of just tore him away from Memphis. It was also Memphis rebuilding. So that's just big for an organization to have an Achilles tear and all the statistics backing up that it's a horrible injury to have. It's something that you kind of have to move along from and try your best to just not do it or not think about it anymore and try and just move forward from that injury, because if you're stuck on it too long, it's just going to end your career. It's going to be a career-ending injury, which an Achilles tear definitely could be a career-ending injury. Now, on to who won the Russell Westbrook-John Wall trade. In my opinion, I think that it was the Houston Rockets, because John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins are actually very good friends. They're very close friends, and they went to a Final Four together in Kentucky. This is big for the Houston Rockets because one of their main problems in the past few years has been team chemistry. And team chemistry is looking good for the Houston Rockets with John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins. And John Wall is the type of person to take charge, but I feel like John Wall may step back a little bit or not, because he said that he wants to prove himself. So this could cause problems for the Rockets. But John Wall can change. He's a very changed man. I am interested to see what could happen. I think actually the Wizards might have won this trade because the Wizards got someone. They needed someone who could take charge and lead their team, and they got it. They got Russell Westbrook, who is notorious for leading teams to championship, or not to a championship, but to playoff contention, to the second round, or to a first round exit, which he's had in the past. Before Houston, the pre-Houston era, Oklahoma City Thunder era, he had 3 times in a row before he left. That was big for Westbrook. He had superstars leave him, but Bradley Beal is, in my opinion, one of the best people to be centered around Westbrook. He is a very unselfish guard who is willing to really just sacrifice anything he needs to give another player on his team a chance at helping him contend for the playoffs. This is big for the Rockets' the Rockets and the Wizards' future. In terms of future, the Rockets won it because they got a first-round pick on top. In terms of now, I feel like the Wizards won. Though I could get proved wrong. It's gonna have to take me a lot to think this year that Russell Westbrook doesn't fit in. Washington. I feel like Russell Westbrook will get mad after this year, though, in Washington. But I feel like they just had bad blood between John Wall and Bradley Beal, which is also another topic about John Wall getting mad at Bradley Beal for trying to get him off the team. Now on to who won the trade. In my opinion, it depends. There are 2 categories in this, and I feel like they're split down the middle. For the future, it's the Rockets. They got a first-round pick, and they have a player who can move faster, can develop their young players, can really just do whatever the Rockets want for them. And for now, I think it's Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook has been known to take command of teams, and he does that. He does that very well. He tries to take charge whenever in the middle of games. It's going to be interesting to see him in a Wizards jersey. I would have never thought he would make it to the Wizards, though the situation was kind of necessary. In my opinion, I really thought he'd be traded to the Pistons. The Pistons have a lot of young core players, though they have nothing to give back other than something like Blake Griffin. And that's going to be my next topic, is crippled all-stars who are in places that, they shouldn't be. But, yeah, for the future, it's going to be Houston. For now, it's going to be not the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Washington Wizards. And the Wizards have a very, very interesting cast. They have Bradley Beal, who is a great player. He's a great player all around, and he kind of meshes into whatever system you want him to do. He is a very flexible player, and that's what I really do respect about Bradley Beal. James Harden is the exact opposite. Everybody has to mesh around him. So that's why I think there'll be problems in Houston, and possibly Washington too, because there were rumors about Bradley Beal trying to get John Wall off the team. My next topic is Oklahoma City blowing themselves up. Now, this was Oklahoma City basically just shooting out everything that they could and just saying, hey, we're not going to make the playoffs this year. We're going to get as many first-round picks as we can, and it's not going to be anything that you should be looking forward to this season. I think Oklahoma City's Thunder are not even going to make the playoffs. You could tell that they just really wanted to tank and get the first pick. They're tired of winning. I know that sounds weird, but when you're a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder and really just want to get the first pick to change your franchise, I feel like, yes, they kind of want to get a bad record, even though it's not what the fans like me want. That's something that the Thunder will be very, very good at. Now, the first thing that happened was Gallo left. Gallinari decided to leave. I do not know where right now. I think it's still being decided. But Gallinari has left the Thunder. He is out. That was kind of like the first pin to strike. Then Chris Paul got traded for Kelly Oubre Jr., Ricky Rubio, Ty Jerome, and Jalen Lacrosse in a first-round pick. And they traded Kelly Oubre Jr. for a first-round pick to the Golden State Warriors. Then they traded Ricky Rubio for a first-round pick in the 2020 NBA draft. Terrence Ferguson got traded also for a first-round pick, and Al Horford. Steven Adams left for the Pelicans, and Dennis Schroeder got traded for Danny Green in a first-round pick, and I think Danny Green got traded for a first-round pick too. At this point, Sam Presti's going to trade his mother for a first-round pick. He has so many first-round picks. He has 32 picks in the next 6 years, including second-round picks. He has 19 picks in the first round. The rest, I think, 13. Yeah, my math is correct. 13 picks in the second round. In the next 6 years, he has double the amount of second-round picks that he should, and one more to tack onto that. And he has an extra 7 picks in the first round for the next 6 years that he should have. You can't tell me that the Thunder can't at least draft a franchise player from 32 picks in the next 7 years, 6 years. Even if they're all second-round picks, you can't tell me that they're going to miss out on at least one franchise player. They did draft Aleksej Pokusevski. He is a 7-foot player who can play inside now. I think that was a really smart draft pick by the Thunder. I will cut this a little short and talk about the Thunder in another episode because that deserves its own episode. I will do that actually as my next episode will be the Thunder, how they blow themselves up, because that's going to be the Thunder Cinderella story if they really just make the playoffs. That's going to be more than a Cinderella story if they make the playoffs. That's going to be huge for the Thunder. And when you hear people talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder franchise, you mainly hear them talk about the Thunder and how they have I don't know how to say it, how they have so many picks in the next few years. I don't think that's really been done by a team this close or in this era of basketball. The Thunder have been doing a huge blow up, and it's just huge. We haven't seen rebuilds like this in a while. It's like when the Warrior. Actually, we've had. It's 2020 has been crazy in the form of basketball. It's all been really unknown for the future and uncertain, like Chris Paul's future in Oklahoma City or Steven Adams' future. And Steven Adams left for the Pelicans because the Thunder said that they wouldn't be good in a while, and then he left. The season starts December 22nd, and before I end the video, I just want to say to all of you, thank you for sticking around to the end, and also, just while you're at it, follow me on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. It really helped me out a lot. I'm going to be uploading every other day. Today, which is Monday, December 7th, and then Wednesday, I'm going to be doing it all the way until February of 2021. I'm going to be uploading every other day, and then I'm going to see how does my podcast do. That's kind of the point of what I'll be doing, and I can kind of give you a sort of outline, because I'm kind of doing an outline right now of what my few episodes will look like, because now with if everything goes to plan, I have to plan out what the next few months will look like when I'm recording. So the next one, I can kind of give you a little bit of it. It's going to be episode 16. I can tell you at least two. I'll give you two of the title candidates for this next episode, which will be episode 17. Oklahoma City goes into full rebuild mode. James Harden out of Houston. Oklahoma City gets more picks. James Harden caught at club. And this, I guess I'll just give you a little teaser of what the episode will be. The episode is going to be about the Oklahoma City Thunder mainly, and James Harden, and how, number one, he was caught at a club. You probably know what type of club. And two, James Harden wants out of Houston. And yeah, it's crazy. NBA has been going crazy. I can't wait till the season. Season starts around Christmas. It's a perfect time to, get in the mood for the NBA. Anyways, thank you guys for watching so much. If you did enjoy, make sure to just, follow me. Look out for my other podcasts and Wednesday. And thank you for sticking with me. It's been a little bit. I've had weird motivation throughout the past few weeks. So yeah, I don't know what time that the one on Wednesday will go up, but I can promise you that it's going to be a fun ride. Thank you guys for watching once again. I know I've said that a lot, and I'll see you next episode. For now, goodbye.